everybody, I'm Tom Vassell.
I am Z Garcia. Hello, folks.
And it is another day. We're doing board game breakfast here with you all. Today I was weak. I was weak today, so for breakfast I ate a piece of key lime pie. I've been trying to stay strong, so I eat a pretty healthy breakfast every day. And my kids have Pop-Tart Wednesday, so they remember Wednesday's Pop-Tarts. We're trying to have some sort of semblance of schedule. And today I was like, I didn't get a Pop-Tart. I want a Pop-Tart. And my wife said, what about key lime? I said, forget the Pop-Tart. Key lime. So I upgraded.
Well, I've been singing in the mornings. What would you do for a Klondike breakfast?
Really? That's not a bad breakfast, I guess.
Yeah, Klondike bars on every day that ends with Y. Nom, nom, nom. I've gained 15 pounds.
My house is shrinking today. Melanie and her fiance are heading over to his fiance's parents' house in Tampa. Mm-hmm. So on one instance, we have more room. On the other instance, my game group has shrunk suddenly. But I got plenty of games that I played, plenty to talk about. Solo stuff. I'm actually working on a solo game right now.
Who are you?
I know. We'll see. Yeah, yesterday I just crashed in the middle of the day. I was so tired. So hopefully I've caught up on my sleep. And we're here to talk about board games, folks. So we'll get started, as always. Oh, I guess before I jump to my transition there, we should mention at this point in time that if you wanted to back the Dice Tower Kickstarter and weren't able to, you can right now. The backer kit late pledges are open. You can just go to dicetowerkickstarter.com.
Yep.
So if you go to dicetowerkickstarter.com, you can go there. If you did back the Dice Tower Kickstarter and you haven't filled out your pledge yet, please do so quickly so we can get around to ordering the stuff so that we can get it in a somewhat timely manner. We're assuming at this point that things might be a little bit late just because of everything happening in the world, but we're working hard to A, not have them be late at all, or B, have them be as little late as possible. Is that a word?
No. I mean, those were all words.
That's true. Let's go to the news. Alrighty, so the first thing for the news, just found out about this morning when I got up and was reading on the internet, is that CMON has released an actual official solo rules for Arcadia Quest. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of cool. I'm debating. What do you think? Should I do it or not?
I mean, you have the game. You should probably. I would read them first and see what they sound like, and then you can actually go through the trouble of pulling all that stuff out and trying it. Yeah.
Yeah, right. No, that's a lot of stuff, right?
Yeah.
I could see why a lot of solo gamers play like roll and writes and things like that, because you're like, flip. Okay, let's do it. Some of these games, I'm like, all right, put this over here, put this over here, and then it's it's time to eat.
Space.
Get off the table.
Yeah, that's a consideration for sure. For me right now, I'm thinking about that too, because the table I'm working on right now, because I need to be in this space for the audio to not sound weird. Table's not very big, so that's something I'm dealing with.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I now have a table at home that is freed up, so maybe I'll be able to do things there. Although I feel like that I might be fighting against the Puzzle Brigade.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't know who wins there, puzzle or board games.
Just do your usual move where you steal one piece, and then after that happens 3 times, they'll give up.
Actually, my family was putting puzzles together, and they weren't sure if all the pieces were there or not, because it was from a thrift store, and I was like, I would never do that. I didn't even steal a piece from this situation because I was already feeling bad for them. Because they put together 6 puzzles and 2 or 3 of them were missing a few pieces. That would
sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Back to news. Last Aurora is coming from Ares Games. This was on Kickstarter last year, originally from Pendragon. So this retail is coming out over this coming summer. It's a competitive post-apocalyptic game in which you're trying to reach the last icebreaker ship so that you can find Captain America and or his shield, and or the key to get into the whatever Nicolas Cage found in the National Treasure.
The Declaration of Independence.
No, he found the key in that frozen ship. Remember, it was the very beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
And Sean Bean tried to blow him up or something. I don't remember. I'm just trying to make
Sean Bean is always up
references.
to something.
Yes, he is.
By the way, shouldn't his name is either Sean Bon or Scene Bean.
Scene Bean.
Make up your mind.
Alrighty. So Coffee Bean spelling game Jabuka has been announced. This is similar to games like Bananagrams or Scrabble. You know, I just played Bananagrams for the first time the other day.
Really? You'd never played before?
I have not. I'm good, though, I think.
It's okay. It's all right. I like it's like a speed Scrabble, but like you only intercept your own words. It's all right. It's a fun distraction.
Sure, but in our household, my wife just destroyed us all like a monster. It wasn't even close.
Yeah.
And we played and played and played, and yeah, it was like,
threw it out. Yeah.
We're not even sure why we're playing here. Anyhow, this game is coming from the publisher. Actually, you can get it right now.
All right.
All right. Isle of Cats has a remote edition. So they made it so that you can play remotely. This is interesting. I wonder if more companies will do this, like specifically tailoring the game so that you can play with other people. I like that. I like that concept a lot.
Yeah.
So only one person needs to own the game, and then everybody else can take these papers that you can print out and play. So that's pretty cool.
That's very nice.
You haven't played Isle of Cats yet, have you?
No, I haven't.
That one I think you might like, although you're a little tired of the Pentomino games.
There's a lot of those. Yeah, it's there's little innovation there lately. It's starting to go the route of deck buildings. Yeah.
We don't often mention Kickstarter news in here, and in fact, Kat, who does our Kickstarter news, is not doing any currently today because there's just not a whole lot. But this we want to mention here that there's a Kickstarter campaign for a new Clinic Deluxe Edition COVID-19 expansion where from each one, $10 will be donated to institutes for biological studies. So that's cool. Although I don't know that I'd want to play it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I could back it, I think, but I don't know that I'd want to play it.
I'll just go donate $10. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't like it. I know that they're doing, it's largely a donation-based concept. But I don't know. I don't like it. It feels like that too soon joke for me that people tell. This feels like it's too soon. And I know that, yeah, the like I said, the donation thing is appreciated, but I could just go donate. That's just me.
Completely understand that. Where during this time, things are obviously getting canceled. One of the things that got canceled is the Tokyo Game Market, which would be going on this coming weekend. So we got a couple games to talk about here. From Hisashi Hayashi here has a new game called Suzy Q, which actually is a pretty cool name, I think, for a game. Although
Suzy Q, it looks great. I love the look of it, the cover, the little sheets. It looks neat.
So it says in this game, you're writing a 3-digit number, hoping to score points based on the numbers other people have written. But you can't write a number that you've X'd in the previous round. Everyone reveals them, and you arrange them in order. So it sounds almost like a bluffing version of
777.
Well, I was going to say 6 Nimmt.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, this sounds weird. Really cool.
It sounds cool. It sounds weird and different, but it sounds really cool. And I like Hisashi Hayashi's games.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to this one. I like the concept of this one a lot. So we'll have to wait and see.
Okazu Brand has done a lot of good stuff too.
Yes. Also, he has a game Go Go Zoo or 5 Zoo, or I'm not even sure what the name of this is. Because the
5 Zoo or Go by Go.
That's some bad graphic design, I think.
It is, sure.
But it looks interesting. Also, at the Tokyo Game Market, they were going to Analog Lunchbox was going to release Abyssal. Is it Abyssal? Abyssal line.
Yeah.
This looks cool. I like the cover of it a lot. You know, though, this game looks exactly, when I look at the pictures of it, looks very similar to that Airship line. Actually, you know what? It probably is the same company, isn't it? This is from Analog Lunchbox, right? So
yeah, what Airship are you talking about? What game?
Let me find it.
I know what you mean. It looks kind of like cocky. It's like a khaki colored kind of cover.
Airship City. Airship City. Oh, it's the same company.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Very
there you
similar.
go.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, because this just, as soon as I looked at it, it also had that grid with things around the outside and a board. So, all right. I'm a little bit less excited because I thought Airship City felt slightly underdeveloped, but we'll have to wait and see.
Okay. I like the theme.
All right. Polar Pond Games is releasing a game called Antique or Ghost. So
I've always debated whenever I look at anything, really, I'm always like, is this an antique or ghost?
I have to say, though, it looks like an interesting game.
It looks cute. It seems like there's a lot of stuff in there, a lot of cards in there, but that is a bizarre title.
That's okay. All right. Rio Grande Games is publishing Trans-Siberian Railroad. This is the second title in their games that they're licensing from Winsome Games. So you may not have heard of Winsome Games. They're a company that made train games, and they tried to make them on as low of a budget as possible and make it look like it. I jest a little bit there, but I'm not far off. Their games were made very, very poor quality, but they were almost always about trains. And so here we have them now coming from better quality Rio Grande. Actually, I think there's a lot of games that look the same, and this one maybe is the same as a lot of other train games, but that cover is a nice cover. The train going through the snow does well for me.
Yeah, I like it. I like the look.
Speaking of solo stuff, you can now play Carcassonne solo on the web, thanks to Hansem Gluck.
Interesting.
This is really cool. I bet there's got to be so many solo gamers who are kind of just like, yeah. Just
I guess so. This is one I might try if I still had my Carcassonne, which I don't have anymore. I ended up getting rid of it, but maybe I'll read them. I'm going to read these rules anyway. I want to see what they came up with here.
The Carcassonne one sounds super interesting. I wonder though, like if you could only play it with base Carcassonne or something like that.
Yeah, likely.
All right, so there's the top 100 board games of all time list was put together on the internet. You can find this from Board Game. Was it Board Game Squad who put it together? I'm not sure if they're one of the people who did it. And they basically put together they went to find a lot of reviewers and then took their top 10s or top 100s wherever they found them, put them together and came up with the top 10 at over time. I'll spoil it for you. Number 1 was Feast for Odin. It's a pretty interesting thing. I'm not 100%, even though they included me and they included Z and they included Mandy and I think Eric Summer and they included a lot of people from the Dice Tower. But I thought some of the numbers were thrown off because they included like the Brawling Brothers, who all kind of voted the same, or the Brothers Murph, who are like one person split into two bodies. Mm-hmm. And so I think it threw off the numbers in that regard because like the Brothers Murph both put Feast for Odin very high. And so did Brawling Brothers. Like all three of the people in that podcast put it high. So that kind of skews the results, I thought. That's going to happen when you have a small selection sample.
It's a neat idea. You can go check out, different reviewers and see what you think, who you agree with, and then you can go to their website and check out what they, it's a good way to sort of target you agree with, and then just go watch their stuff. So yeah, that's cool.
People have different opinions on Pandemic, the board game, at this point in time. Some people think that it's not. They have a hard time playing it because of real life events, and other people play it because of real life events. Because in this game, you are actually fighting the diseases. So there's a new version coming out called Pandemic Hot Zone. This is from what I could tell, this is an analogy of this would be Pandemic Hot Zone to Pandemic is what Ticket to Ride London or New York is to Ticket to Ride.
Right.
So like a smaller game. I'm looking forward to this. I believe it's sitting in front of my house right now, actually.
Oh, really?
So
Yeah, I don't know
has,
what this is either. I did play a prototype with Matt Leacock at a convention a year ago, maybe two, which was for a smaller pandemic, but it was a card game. I think I can say that. And so I don't know if this is that or not. I don't know if that idea got scrapped. I don't know if that's what this is. I don't know if there's a board in here or just cards. So I'm curious to see which of what this is. If it is that card game, then cool. Then I have a little bit of sort of background history with it.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. It'll be interesting. That's what's in the news, folks, this week. There's going to be less news, obviously, but I'm telling you, at some point, there's going to be a 30, 40-minute part of the show in the future. And everyone just announced everything. So, anyhow, let's go on and look at some war game stuff.
Okay, today we're going back again to Worthington Publishing Games, right? And we're going to focus on battles that failed, miserably failed. And they made games out of it, sure, because some of these battles are heroic, last stand, rah, rah, rah. Anyways, here, let's talk about this one first. Custer's Last Stand. Now, this is General Custer of the Civil War, of the American Civil War. This guy was hot patootie, man. You know what I'm saying? He knew tactics, this and this and this and that. So, anyways, one day, he's, riding along with his contingency of men. He was with the 7th Cavalry. That's a lot of people. And they were attacked by American natives, but a lot of them. They had no chance because the natives were fed up of the white man, right? Here's a quote by General Custer. Boy, was he wrong. And they slaughtered them all. So why make a game out of it? Because it's General Custer. Let's look what he's got. And we get a beautiful box, very evocative of the slaughteration that's going to happen, plus a 4-page rulebook, even though that's a playbook, and gorgeous counters, check them out on their horses, and a beautiful map. But Paul, why do we have to play battles that lose? In every game there's a loser. What's the matter with you? I've got 2 words to tell you. Let me guess. Shut up. Think of it like a stage of siege game. You don't necessarily have to lose. The challenge is you gotta overcome and win! And here's a game that's completely dear to my heart. Do you know why? Because I live here. I live in Quebec. And do you know what happened in Quebec in 1759? North America spoke English because it was French before. See the history you learn? Why is that one of those loser games? Well, it depends which way you look at it, you nincompoop. For the English, it's a win-win situation. For the French, well, ask any Frenchman here in Quebec today. You know what it says on our license plate? It says, Je me souviens, which means, I will remember. What do you think they're remembering? The past! Okay, chill. A nice picturesque box, 4-page rulebook, your field orders, and full flavor, one in English, one in French, and 3 decks of cards, and a beautiful map. You know, these 2 games, there's a lot of history. Custer with the Indians, and the French and the English with the big cannons, boom, boom, boom. If you want to know more about war games, come and check out my channel. Bye.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, we are Ryan and Bethany.
From Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
All right, well, today we're going to be talking about Notre Dame. This is the kind of worker placement card drafting game from Stefan Feld. This is the 10th anniversary edition, and it's having a lot of fun with this one.
But before we talk about that, I need your help so much. I am fortunate enough to be able to work from home a little bit, and I get really lazy when I work at home. Let's just say during that 8-hour shift, I get 2,000 steps, and that is not a lot, and I'm normally an active person. So for those of you who work at home, what do you do to remain active or to make sure that you are still moving? Any advice would be greatly appreciated.
All right, so one of the things this game does really well is all the different actions you can take. A lot of them build upon one another. They have ripple effects throughout the game, kind of like almost like Architects of the West Kingdom, but like 2007 edition. You place something once, you get one thing. Placing a second person there, you get two of that item, and et cetera, et cetera. It kind of grows and grows. It's a lot of fun.
You're also drafting these cards, which I find really fun and challenging, of what you want to keep as opposed to what you want to pass. And you want to keep all of them, or sometimes you get nothing good and you're hoping somebody will pass you something that will be useful for you. I really enjoy the drafting in this game.
Yeah, the component quality and the color palette leaves a lot to be desired, especially for a 10th anniversary edition. But that being said, the gameplay kind of over what comes it, and we really enjoy this one. We recommend it.
If you want to hear our full thoughts on this, go ahead and check us out on YouTube under Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews, or you could also find us on Facebook under Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews. Well, everybody, this is Ryan. I'm Bethany, hoping you have a happy, healthy breakfast.
Bye everybody.
Guys.
All righty. Well, the last week, Z, I believe you got beat down.
What's that now?
Or did you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
All righty, folks. We're going to just jump right into this. So I was feared that possibly we were not doing enough board game stuff. So today's questions are going to all be board game related.
Okay.
All right. So
That's it. I'm back, baby.
So just as a quick reminder, folks, for this game that we're going to be playing for the foreseeable future, I might change it up at some point. I'll ask a question with a numerical answer. Y'all can't cheat. Z can't cheat. No one should cheat. And you all just guess. And you want to come as close to the answer as you can. And
Okay.
I'm going to pick 4 of your answers at random. They'll all be next to each other. So while I might pick one randomly, the other 3 might be there. If one of you is closer than Z, you'll get 3 points. If you're all closer than Z, 5 points. If 2 people are closer than Z, no one gets anything. If Z is closer than 3 people, he gets 3 points. And if he's closer than all 4, Z gets 5. If anyone guesses the exact answer, they're cheating, but I'll give an extra bonus point.
What? No, that's not a good idea. People will cheat.
Well, I would find it very unlikely in this regard, but we'll see. Okay, so what's a game that you will probably never play, even though you have more time on your hands at this point?
Gloomhaven.
Okay. Well, actually, I was going to say Twilight Imperium 4th edition. Do you know that is rated number 6? It's 6th ranking on Board Game Geek. Twilight Imperium 3rd edition is ranked 60. Twilight Imperium 2nd edition is ranked 3,085. I want to know what the rating is for the original Twilight Imperium. 1st edition.
Yeah, I know this well.
Well, I don't think anyone knows, but I just gave you some surrounding information so that you can use that. TI 4 and 6. So if anyone says that Board Game Geek is Euro heavy, there's some truth to that. But come on, if TI 4 can be in the top 6, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, but not top 5, is it? Not top 5.
Yeah, but Gloomhaven's number 1, so that's still all right. Z, the answers have come in. Give them up. I got them written here.
All right.
Go ahead. What do you think?
All right, so my answer is going to be 5,200. That's what I'm going with.
5,200. So from the peoples, we have 1,500. So they think it's rated higher than the 2nd edition.
Okay, I thought about that too, maybe, yeah.
4749, 2307, and 5696. The actual answer is 3,246.
It's almost the same.
Yeah, it's almost the same. It's just a little bit off of the 2nd edition, which is a little weird to me because I thought the 2nd edition was clearly better than the 1st, mostly because it had plastic ships. That being said, let's look here. Well, you're closer than one person, but I believe the other 3 were closer than you, so that's 3 points for the people.
I don't like it.
One of the main designer of the Twilight Imperium series, especially at the beginning, he had help from Corey Kineska and stuff on the way, is Christian Peterson, Christian Peterson has designed several things over the years. I want to know how many entries he has on Board Game Geek. This includes everything that he would have if it was a game, an expansion, or a pack of a living card game. If his name's on it on Board Game Geek, how many entries does he have?
Huh. Okay, I gotta guess. I don't think he's got that many things to his credit, because I think he's got, he's gonna get all the TI stuff. He's gonna get expansions to that. I think he had a couple of earlier games when FFG was kind of taking off. But I don't think he's done a lot of work, and I think the whole living card game is a red herring. I don't think he gets credit on any of those. So I got my guess.
Go ahead. What do you got?
My guess is 32.
32. And the People's Choice, I took the first four answers this time, 23, 15, 10, and 27. But the living card game was not a red herring, because he is credited with the Game of Thrones living card game. So
I
therefore,
killed everybody because my number's higher.
117 entries on Board Game Geek. That is indeed 5 points for Mr. Z Garcia.
That's right. I'm back, baby.
Alrighty. Well, speaking of Christian Peterson, TI4 is ranked the highest, but the game of his that has the most people owning it is similar to what I just mentioned, and that's Game of Thrones, 2nd edition. Mm-hmm. And this is his most rated game and most owned game. And I want to know how many people on Board Game Geek say they own Game of Thrones 2nd edition.
This is the board game, right? Right, Tom? The board game, this is what this is?
Yes, it's not the living card game.
Well, I know Roy owns one, so that's one at least.
And there's also one in the Dice Tower library.
Okay, so 2. And then I guess if I want to have a little deviation from there, I might guess 3.
Plus 2 or 3.
Yeah, plus or minus a couple.
You can't write. Someone wrote a lot. Scientific answers only. All right, I got the People's Choice. All right, let me see what I got there. And all righty. Go ahead, sir.
I'm going to say 26,500.
All right. The people said 8,750, 3,456, 15,000, and 6,900. Actual answer, as of when I checked this yesterday, 26,729.
Whoa.
We're going to have the judges look at the steroid use here.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, my
that
word.
Is creepy close. I'm off by a couple hundred. I clearly was not cheating. I mean, I got nothing. Whoa. That's it. I think I just won this game for the rest of the run of this game.
All right.
That's it, baby. Can't catch me now.
There's a lot of Game of Thrones games. Almost all of them are published by Fantasy Flight because they have the license to this.
Right.
One of the games that you may never have heard of is Game of Thrones. Well, Z's heard of this, but those of you watching, Hand of the King. Designed by one of Z's favorite designer.
That's right, Bruno Catala.
I hate this game, but Z likes it, I think.
I do like it. I have a copy of it right over there.
Yeah, it's basically you just move stuff around the grid. It has nothing to do with Game of Thrones at all.
It's cool. I like
game.
it. You like Kingdoms, right? You like Kingdoms from Reiner Knizia?
Yeah,
but kind of like
actually,
Kingdoms in reverse. You're removing things.
I've cooled on Kingdoms over the last 15, 16 years. But anyhow, I want to know what the average ranking of this is on Board Game Geek. So it's somewhere from 1 to 10.
Okay.
So what is the average ranking of Game of Thrones Hand of the King? So you'll want to put a decimal point in your answer here, folks.
Okay.
Otherwise, you won't. Most games are ranked, above 3 usually. And no game, I don't know if there's any game that has an average ranking of 9 or higher, actually. It's a rarity. So,
Okay.
What is the average ranking? This is for Game of Thrones, Hand of the King, a small card game. What would you give it, by the way?
I think I rated a 6.
I gave it a 3. All righty.
It's like an above average game. It's a neat little game.
Well, this doesn't happen very often. I got 2 of the people's choice answers are the same. Well, is what it is. What's your answer?
I'm going to go with 6.12.
6.12. All right. People's choice is 6.8, 6.1, 6.8, and 5.5. And the actual answer is 6.706. But because Z added that extra 100th, the 2, he's closer than a 6.1, which makes this a wash. No one gets any points on this at all.
What do you mean? I'm closer than everybody except one person.
No, you're not closer than the 2. There's 2 people said 6.8. 2 people said 6.8.
Oh, whoa. Okay.
However, this doesn't mean mathematically you can't lose here. But let's go to the last question anyway.
Oh, I'm going to say something particularly stupid?
That's
I said
true,
particularly. I know they're all stupid people.
This last one is a year. We mentioned the designer of Game of Thrones Hand of the King was Bruno Catala.
412 BC.
I want to know what year he was born in.
I just told you, fool. 412.
What year was Bruno Catala born in?
Oh, Bruno Catala? No, that's rude. He's a young cat. 2003. All right, I'll take a stab at this.
(2003). That's a very legitimate possibility.
I don't actually know how old he is.
This was not even hard for me to find this information. It was just like right there on his. I think it was on his designer page, and I got answers here. Let me pause it and do this. All right. All right, Z, go ahead.
I'm gonna say Bill and Ted.
So 1969.
Yeah. 69.
All right.
Dude.
People said 71,
Okay.
53,
Oof.
64, and 51.
Oof.
And the answer is 63,
Okay.
which means Z was closer than 3 of the people, giving you another 3 points.
Yeah.
What does that make our final score? I
A billion.
13-3.
That one answer that I got for the Game of Thrones, which was kind of creepy how close I got. That's what did it. Jeez.
All righty. Well, there you go, folks. Z wins again, but we can have our revenge.
Not
Join
with
me.
my upcoming game.
Dude, we haven't lost but once.
I'm gonna wreck you.
All righty. Well, we'll be back in a bit. Let's jump to some contributors.
Happy breakfast, everyone. Today I'm going to talk to you about this tiny roll and write Kwinto. And you see, it's funny because it's got the word win in the middle of it. Now, it's a small game. It's literally got 3 dice, a small pad of paper, and 4 pencils, which is perfect for the up to 6 player count. Now, why I actually like this game is it doesn't try to pretend to be something it's not. It's a very simplistic roll and write. On your turn, you choose to roll 1, 2, or 3 of the different coloured dice. Then, depending on which ones you've rolled, you sum that number and then you can write it in one of those colours. So if you roll the purple and the yellow dice, you can write the number that's combined into the purple or the yellow row. It's very simple. You can't do duplicate numbers in rows or columns, and from left to right the number has to increase. If you can't do it on your turn as the die roller, you get to re-roll the ones you've used, otherwise you take an X mark. The game ends when one player's done 2 rows completely, or one person has the 4 X's. Now, it has no theme. It has realistically bare basic components. And I don't think that does the game any justice. Now, I'm not saying a theme of any kind would benefit the games the way it plays, but it certainly might help you sort of draw people into play. And that's something sometimes that theme can do. It can make you go, ooh, what's that? It catches your eye, and then the gameplay can sort of reel you in. The gameplay, the choice is nice and simple in 10-minute roll and write. But looking at the box, looking at the game, it's just, there's nothing there to really get excited about. Solid game, fun for 10 minutes, but ooh, it's a bit plain. That's Kwinto, and I'm Oliver East, signing out.
Hey there everyone, it's Jen, the board game librarian, flipping some pages and pushing some cubes with my segment From the Page to the Table. This week I'm looking at a book and a game, and you'll obviously know what game I'm going to do, and I pulled up this book, which is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. And I'll just do it right now. Or I'll do it right now. Abomination, the Heir of Frankenstein, published by Plaid Hat Games and designed by Dan Blanchett. So, Frankenstein is a classic. It had its 200th anniversary 2 years ago in 2018, and Frankenstein has weaved its way into our culture in so many ways that we don't even know. With phrases and the movies. It's a fabulous book. Short enough that you could read it quite quickly. So let's talk Abomination, the Heir of Frankenstein. It's my favorite game from 2019. I don't think I have said that quite yet. And it can be a little controversial for a number of people. I'll just say that right out the gate. It's not a game for children or teenagers necessarily. And it's not a game for those who are easily grossed out by gruesome things. Dan Blanchett, if you watched my interview with him back from Gen Con, paid particular attention to the source material and turning in this game into a follow-up to this classic, which is a huge task to take on. In this game, you are using Euro mechanics, heavily deeped in theme, and trying to create a partner for Frankenstein's monster. Have you played Abomination, Heir to Frankenstein? Have you read Frankenstein? Comment below. That's it. Happy breakfast.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Jonna from One Pip Wonder. No talking boxes this morning, just me. I wanted to pop in and say hi. It's been a little disappointing not having game night to look forward to lately. Being in self-quarantine has been hard for gamers. Well, I've been thinking about some of my past favorite memories from playing board games, and the kind of memories that kept coming up were the ones where I played a game, instantly fell in love with it, and knew I needed to buy it on the spot. 2 games that came to mind was Century Gollum Edition, which I played in 2018 at PAX Unplugged. Ellen and Randy from We Game Together actually taught it to us. You have gems and you're trying to get the more expensive gems, the more valuable ones, by upgrading them by playing cards. So you do that a lot, and then you try to get the golems as your reward for getting those different patterns of gems. Anyway, I played it for the first time and I knew immediately this was the game for me, and I asked for it for Christmas that year. The other game that I thought of was Point Salad. I played that last year at PAX Unplugged with my friend Kyle and my husband. You're just simply flipping cards and collecting different groups of vegetables, and then you also have different point cards that you can select at whatever point in the game. It's very much like instantaneous decision making to make the most points. We played it and we instantly felt like, yeah, we need to buy this game. So what are some games that you played and had that experience where you knew on the spot you wanted to buy it? I'd love to hear those. I'm sure we'll all be out gaming before we know it, so just hang in there and enjoy those really sweet memories that we have from our past game nights.
Hello,
It's
everybody.
time for revenge.
Oh, no, I don't believe so. If you mean revenge from all the other times you win this, then yes, certainly. No, I think this is going to be a fairly easy one for you. Welcome back to 20 Questions, everybody. This one, you are going to be attempting to guess a film. And as always, Tom can only ask me questions that you all give him in the comments. So start posing questions for him. I have here my handy-dandy 20 poker chips. Half of these are nothing. The other half is down the middle. 5 that will give you a little extra clue, a little something, and 5 that will penalize you by removing yet another poker chip. But you don't have to look at it if you don't want to, Tom. As always, once you've asked the question, then you'll make that choice. So I'll mix them up. I'll set them to the side here, like I said.
It's a movie, by the way, not a game. Someone said, does it have expansions? It's a movie.
It's it might, but it's unlikely. It is a movie. Yes, I have the movie here with me, so I will be able to flash you the movie once you figure it out, or if you don't. That is basically it. So you are off to the races. Let me make sure my spinner here is working.
There's so many questions here to ask. I'm trying to ask unique questions. All right, I'll take one from Marco here, who says, "Is it about a tragedy?"
No.
All right. Flip it.
This is nothing.
All right. Haylock says, "Was it released in the theater?"
Yes.
That would not have narrowed it down 3 years ago, but today that's a pretty legit question, I think. Let's flip it.
That is also nothing.
Anki says, "Is it animated?"
It is not animated.
Flip it.
That is something for you.
Give us.
So here's what I'm going to do for you, okay? I wrote down 5 facts about this film. And I have the letters for the movie. Now here's what you can do. You can pick a fact and then tell me a number 1 through 5. I have to tell you what it is. I'm not saying they're all useful or very helpful, but they're all true. Or I'll give you a letter.
Oh, I want the fact. I don't care about the letters. Give me a fact.
All right. Give me a number 1 through 5.
4.
Danny Trejo is in it.
Now, that doesn't actually narrow things down, because I know from a Wits and Wagers game that I did that Danny Trejo has been in quite a few movies. But
All right.
alrighty, let's see here.
What do you got?
Alrighty, let's see here. People are trying to narrow it down. People are asking all kinds of very specific things. I'm sorry, I'm waiting for like an actual question that kind of narrows down, because people are listing movies he's in. Come on, guys, give me some questions here. All right. Mentat says, does this movie have sequels?
No, it does not have sequels.
All right. Well, that
I like to
eliminates
flip.
one of the big possibilities.
Right.
And yeah, we'll flip it.
All right, that is good because that is a letter. I'm going to alternate. You now
All right,
get
people.
a
Oh,
letter.
we get a letter. I was gonna ask people to choose. All right, give us a letter. Ah, I love that sound. Click, click.
Fasten your seatbelts. The letter is I, as in I don't think you're going to get this.
Yeah, but my one movie that I'm ready to say still has an I in it. Alrighty.
All right.
Aaron says, well, Aaron, that's not very helpful. Hang on, I'm gonna. Oh, that's good anyway. I don't really. No, I can't ask that question. That doesn't narrow it down. I guess we can ask that. Was Danny Trejo the main character?
No, he was not. Would you like to flip it?
You know what? I'm going to pass on this one. We got two good ones here. Let me think here. All right. Was the movie rated R?
Yes.
Well, then I can't answer any more questions because I've never seen an R-rated movie. My dad might be watching. Z Garcia. All right, flip it.
It's a nothing chip. There you go.
All right. Oh man, no, there's so many movies here. We gotta like narrow it down. Getting oh, that's a good question. Fergus says, does Danny die in this movie?
Does Danny Trejo die in the movie?
Not
Yes.
the person, the character he plays.
Yes, I know. What kind of messed up question is that? Danny Trejo is alive and well, folks.
I understand that. I'm just saying
Does
you were
the
asking.
character Danny Trejo played die in the movie? Yes.
Flip it.
This is a negative one. That
man.
means you're losing a question, which means you are down to 3, 6, 9, 12 questions. You are down to 12.
Here's the thing, though, folks. Realize it is he's a very big character in a lot of movies, so I know everyone's getting caught up in all the movies he's in, but just saying. All right, we'll ask Mike's question. Does more than one person die in this movie?
Yes.
Ooh, he paused, though. I don't want that chip. No. Take it out of my face. Oh, that's a good question, too. This is all Danny Trejo stuff. Was he a good guy in the movie?
Was Danny Trejo a good guy in the movie?
Yes.
No, he's not a good guy in the movie.
I don't want that chip either.
All right. You are down to 10 chips.
All right, Bittner. Is there any supernatural characters in this movie?
No, there are no supernatural characters in the movie.
All right. I'll flip this one.
That's a bad idea because that's a negative
That's why I don't flip chips, people. Help me stay strong.
one. You are down to 3, 6, 8 questions.
All right, okay, people, you can stop asking questions about the from dusk to dawn stuff, okay? We just eliminated that. Sean says, is there an airplane in this movie at all?
Is there an airplane in the movie? Yeah. Yes. I want to say yes. So yes.
I'm not flipping that chip. And
Okay.
also I'm not buying your hesitation either.
What do you mean?
How many guesses I got?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay, we'll do a few more questions, then we'll just start guessing movies, right?
All right, go for it. What do you got?
What kind of question is that?
Ask it.
Let's see here. Come on, guys, give me some questions. No one's asking questions. They're
They're all
okay.
talking about just Danny Trejo's extensive body of work. That's what it is.
Okay, that's a weird question, but I'll ask it. Oh, yeah, there's a good one. Is it an 80s movie?
It is not an 80s movie.
All right. No, I'm not flipping any more chips. All right, Cameron says, Are there police in the movie?
Yes.
Okay. Nope, not flipping.
You have 5 left.
Is there a car crash in the movie?
Yes. Not flipping. Okay. You're down to 4.
All right, folks. We're now going to just guess movies. So give me some movies that we'll guess, and I'll ask straight up your movies. We have 4 guesses. I might turn over a chip on one of these. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
All right. First guess is Con Air.
No, it's not Con Air.
All right. Okay, actually, Con Air is the only one I know that he's in here, folks. So actually, after this, I'm just going to ask.
You don't have any more movie guesses?
No, people are giving me ones, but I don't know if he's in them or not. So if I guess, I'm just going to be guessing what they're saying. All right, here we go.
Would know.
Dirty Harry.
That's not it. What else?
I didn't know he wasn't Dirty Harry.
Yeah, he's great in Dirty Harry. He's been around forever, man, and everything. What else?
Now, remember, folks, the name has to have an I in it. So it can't be, for example, Anaconda, because there's no I in Anaconda.
Not Anaconda.
No, I didn't say Anaconda.
Sorry. I'm kidding. You got it a while ago. It's Con Air.
You know what? When you did the whole airplane thing, the whole internet did not believe you. I didn't believe you.
I know. Well, when you say that, it's like, like a deer in headlight airplane in it. Yes. Very much so. You got it. Con Air. You got it with 4 questions left. From now on, I'm only picking movies or games that have monumentally long titles.
Tell me the other 4 facts though that you didn't read.
Oh, okay, sure. So here's what they were. Number 1 says same director as Lara Croft Tomb Raider. Which probably wouldn't have helped, but again, these were either helpful or not helpful. I think the one you got was the most helpful. 2 was that the movie's runtime is 1 hour and 55 minutes. 3 is that the movie was released in 1997. Danny Trejo's in it was number 4, and then number 5, lots of them that the film has a lot of action in it. So you did get the best one when you picked 4.
Actually, if someone has said what movies he's in, that's always, for some reason, that's the first one. That is like one of my trashy movies I just like watching.
Oh, I know. I love it. It's awesome.
It's clearly a dumb movie, but... Alrighty, folks. We won. Huzzah! We got a few more contributors, and we'll be back.
What's up, everyone? My name is Melissa McCack, and I'm here with my brother, Justin Maycack.
Hey, everybody.
This is Smashing Buttons and Slamming Cards. This is a segment where I talk about a video game I love, and I connect it to a board game I love. And this week, I'm going to have Justin talk about a video game.
Alright, so I'm going to be talking about Rust. It's an awesome open-world survival game where you jump into a server, you have nothing but a rock and a torch to start with, and you just start banging on trees to that wood and hitting stone to that stone, and you eventually build up to having things like metal armor and metal forts, and you start fighting with other players.
So I want to connect that to Robinson Crusoe, the board game. This is pretty much a survival board game. It's got worker placement in it. It's got crafting where you're inventing different things like campfires or tools that you need, weapons that you need. You're going around killing beasties in the island, and it's a cursed island. There's different scenarios that you're trying to accomplish. It's cooperative. It's really cool. I love this game. This kid should like it way more than he does, but that's fine.
It's pretty good. No, I liked it a lot.
Anyway, that's it for this week. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like, you can check out our podcast called Room 51. I'll catch you next time.
Well, hi, everybody. I'm Doug Jr.
And I'm Doug the Third.
And you're watching a Fellowship of Meeples with Doug and Doug Gaming. Well, have you ever been stuck in the house with someone so long that you just want to rip off their head?
Yes, recently.
Well, don't take it out on the ones you love.
No, just play a board game. A dark, twisted, evil, murderous board game.
Something like...
The Bloody Inn.
So in The Bloody Inn, you'll play an innkeeper that steals their guests' money as well as their lives.
During each round, guests will check into their rooms.
You can bribe them and add that card to your hand.
You can build annexes in front of you, which might give you special abilities.
You can dispatch one of your guests. You know.
You can bury the body under a previously built annex. During burial, you acquire your former guest's money. I mean, he's not going to need it anymore.
Or you can launder money by purchasing these 10 franc checks.
To accomplish these tasks, you'll need to discard a number of cards from your hand equal to the ranking number on the guest card.
Some of the guests you've previously bribed may have specific skills that will allow you to immediately retrieve those cards after discarding.
And if there's any police officers nearby, make sure you don't have any bodies laying around or there will be a stiff penalty to pay.
Any guests that survive a night in your room will pay you for the services.
After playing through the guest cards twice, the player with the most francs wins the game.
Well, despite the dark theme, I find The Bloody Inn to actually be a delightful game that plays 1 to 4 players.
And I love the dark theme, and I love the artwork, and not to mention it's easy to play and easy to teach as well.
Well, thanks so much for watching this episode of A Fellowship of Meeples.
We'll see you later.
I'm joined today by Stephen Bonacore, president of Stronghold Games. How are you holding up in these days of virtual quarantine, Stephen?
I got to say, it's been a little tough, spending day after day with the family. But all things considered, I'm doing pretty well. I hope you're doing okay too.
I'm doing pretty well, thanks. So to follow up on the topic of being in a virtual quarantine, we're asking our guests a question. It's an A or B choice question about who you would rather be in quarantine with. You have to note, though, that only your first answer will count. Are you ready for the question?
Go for it.
Okay. Stephen Bonacore, who would you rather be quarantined with? Either A, your significant other and your family, or
B, Eric. The answer is B.
You haven't heard B yet.
I choose B.
Or B, Tom Vassell.
Eric, no. A. I have to change my answer to A. Please, Eric, A.
Oof. Whatever. If you were with me, you'd have so many games, good ones, not just all published by one boring publisher. So, anywho, folks, thanks for watching.
I feel bad for Steven. Now he's at odds with the people he's actually staying with. It's not a good look. Back to publishing games in tins, I guess.
Top 10 list. Anyhow, speaking of top 10 lists, we're going to be doing one later on today at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come back and join us. We'll be talking about the top 10 most influential games of all time. We're then going to follow that up at 3:30 with I'm going to talk about 15 influential people and other things that have influenced modern gaming. And then Z and Travis Oates, who will be joining us for both events from the name just suddenly slipped my mind. Above Board. He'll be joining us for both of those, and they're going to criticize my choices. And we're just going to talk about what has made modern gaming what it is today. So there you go. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks to our wonderful contributors, except the last one. Until then, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.